Hello,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I wanted to, I try to, as you can see with my page, I do a lot of documenting. Um,
Yeah.
and I do get a lot of DMs, I get a lot of messages,
Mm.
um, but I don't always get the opportunity to record the
Okay.
experiences that people have. And when I read your experience, it reminded me of the video that I sent you about my friend Deloria. So my name is Tutamara. I'd like you to introduce yourself.
Hi, it's nice to meet you too tomorrow. My name is Shavana.
Shavana, nice to meet you. And because of the topic of reincarnation, you know that most people don't believe in this. And because they don't
Yeah.
believe in it, they think that it's not real. And so,
Mm.
in hearing what you typed to me, uh, let's see. I wanted to read the part where you were crying. This is what made me want to speak to you. Can you give me an experience, or can you take me down the road of how you found my page?
I'm
And
about to cry right now. I was just scrolling on TikTok and what's the video? Um, it was the video before the Rihanna video. It was that Rihanna video.
mm,
And it was long and I was about to click off and I'm like, don't click off like you're supposed to listen to it.
mm,
And yeah, that was the second video. It was the Emmett Till. And when you like look to the side,
mm,
I seen it.
mm, mm,
I seen it and I see it.
mm.
So then I got to digging around and just, clicking through the page. Like, let me just go ahead and watch a couple of videos. And I was like, I'm just on the whim, but let me just go ahead and send a message.
Mm.
I did, and I did not think you was going to respond.
Well, I get a lot of DMs, and I don't have the time. And with TikTok, I just started using TikTok more, and with that comes more DMs, and I don't get a chance to respond to all of them. But it's for some reason I clicked on yours, and it had just come in. I clicked on it and I read it, and I was moved to respond to you um, because of the things that you wrote in your message. But most people don't understand that we've been here before. They're stuck into doctrines that teach them that it's not real. So they live in a state of believing and not knowing. Um, so you say you feel like you've been here before.
I
How
feel
long
like
have you
I'm on
felt
a
that?
loop.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm on a loop. But
Mm.
this time around, I feel like I'm really close. And it's something that I'm supposed to do or doing or complete. But I always get stopped or I never, whatever the case may be, but I can't get there. And I need to figure out. And then I got these kids and everybody think that their kids is special. We're supposed to feel like that, but my kids, it's my youngest.
Mm.
I need to be able to nurture that. And I can't nurture that if I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel, but I don't have the knowledge. I just feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Excuse me.
That's okay. Listen, part of one of the things I'm here for is I'm here to remind people that we have been here, and you mentioned a loop. Um, there's a saying, the soul is younger at 10,000 years than the human body is at 100. Think about that. We've been here many times before, and to do what we are required to do, what the purpose of life is, sometimes it takes more than one life. So it's not that we're stuck in a loop. That's part of the game. You're not going to accomplish what you're supposed to accomplish in one life. That's not how it's done. We come here. We come here to raise our consciousness. That's what we're here to do. We're here to awaken our gifts and our abilities. And unfortunately, like you said, you got this feeling, but you don't have the knowledge, right? Because we live in a system that doesn't give us the knowledge. We live in a system that wants us to cling to beliefs, right?
Yeah.
So it tells us that I might assume that you grew up in a family that's Christian.
Yeah.
As most of us did. I was born Muslim, family Christian. So I've been all through the different religions, or the Abrahamic religions, and in those religions, they tell us that we're supposed to be ye like Christ. The character in that story says that all these things I've done, so can you do, in greater deeds will you do. But if you allow these churches and institutions to tell you, oh, you're not supposed to be great. No, that was that person. No, what I'm going to tell you is we're here to raise our consciousness. See, as my page begins to grow, it grows exponentially with female followers, because females intuitively are connected to source. Not that males aren't, but there's where there's smoke, there's fire, and with that saying, woman's intuition.
Yeah.
There's something with woman's intuition and a mother's intuition to know that something's wrong with their child, or to just know when to call, or just know that their child is going to call, right? And so there's a knowingness. And so to speak to that for a second, as I spend a couple more moments on biblical, in the Bible, when they're talking about the people of the East and Jesus being on the right hand of the Father, and all these things that have to do with the East and the right hand, that's talking about the feminine side of the brain, which is the right? And so this is what we have to get in tune with. We have to get in tune with the spiritual, the esoteric, the unseen, right? The musical, the magical side of who we are. So when it says in the Bible, it talks about tithing. The tithing is giving over that 10%, bringing it to the right side, to so that we can utilize the spiritual aspect of who and what we are. And so so that's what you teach. But you can only teach what you are, right? A person can only gain as much knowledge as they are, right? So you have to be ready to receive that knowledge, and part of it is submitting ourselves to self-imposed discipline. All right, so you have something that you already intuitively know that it's there. You know that we've been here before, but that's not something to be sad about, or to fret about, or to fear about. It's a truth. It's a fundamental truth. In India, they know this. That's why babies are born knowing and remembering. We don't know it in the same fashion that they do, because it's been taught out of us. I'm going to do a video soon with another woman whose daughter used to call 911 all the time. When she was a baby, like 2 years old, calling 911. She would call 911, and then when she was old enough to talk, she would say she lived another life. How you doing? She would say she lived another life where she was beat and abused and domestic violence. That's why she would call 911 all the time as a baby. She don't know numbers. She's calling 911. So we've been here before. So that's nothing to fret about. That's nothing to I mean, we can get emotional about it. I think that my story, because the story of Emmett Till was so drastic, it was so traumatic, that it definitely weighs on the hearts of people. Before I knew I was this person, I would write about this person in my music a lot. It was such a bad thing. I would mention Emmett Till's name, and so I was tasked with the responsibility or the mission to come back. But here's the thing about me knowing who I am. Shavana, right?
Yeah.
Shavana. People think that, first of all, most people don't believe me, right? But people don't understand. And this goes into what we're supposed to be doing while we're here. What you need to do for those boys, for your children. People don't understand that I very well could have died in this life and never knew any of my previous lives. I had to earn it. Like I said, submit yourself to self-imposed discipline. I began to change the way that I thought first. But for most people, there's a catalyst. We have to become the hero in our story. And all superheroes have a hero origin. Usually it's somebody dies, right? And they change their life. Spider-Man was my favorite superhero, and his uncle died. And he could have saved his life, so that made him become a superhero. For me, it was my grandfather's death in 2009. When he died, I began to change. I began to study what? African. You look to be African of sorts. Are you? You African? Yeah. Are you black? Are you African American?
Yeah.
So going back and fetching what you lost. Number one. You talking about coming back here again? Well, where did you come from? Let's go there. You talking about coming back stuck in a loop? Where did the loop start? Sankofa, go back and fetch what you lost. That's the first thing I began to do. I began to honor those who came before me. That's the first thing that we do, right? Then we begin to, as you begin to take that journey, honoring those who come before you, if you're successful with that journey of searching, you're going to come back here. You're going to come back to the greatest civilization that we ever had, when we were kings and queens. And when you begin to study that civilization, this will open up a lot of doors for you. But outside of that, I began to change the way that I ate. I began to meditate. I began as a male, so our biggest error, most men, our downfall is our misguided drive towards female attention. And so when I began to curb that and to correct that, I began to meet different types of females. I began to meet females with divine energy. And slowly I met females with different gifts. So pondering about coming here again and being afraid of being trapped in a loop, I can understand that, but it's not to be fret. I used to feel like I never want to come back here again. I want this to be my last life. And then I would think about that, and I would think, well, if I finished this life and I got to a place where I needed to come back here to do something else, I would do it. I would come back to. See, the thing about life, though, life is, most of us don't remember. I don't remember my life as Emmett or Tutankhaten or Earl Johnson, the life I lived in the 1800s, or the life that I lived in India. I don't remember those lives, but I know I lived those lives. Do you have a copy of my book yet? No, you don't. You just found my page, right?
No, but I'm about to order it when we get off this call.
Yeah, you have to when you get a copy of my book, you will see how I was able to connect these lives. And when you first sent me the question, I wanted to send you a link for my book. But before that, I wanted to actually talk about the experience you had. And when you see the connections, my book is called Tutanrada, Prophecy of Reincarnation, Star Codes of Immortality, the Hip Hop Bible. But the Star Codes of Immortality is the most important part. You mentioned that you were born in 91, the year of the goat, sheep, right?
Yeah.
You're born in the year of the goat. You have a son born in the year of the goat, 2015, right?
Yep.
And you have a son born, or a daughter is a son?
No, two sons.
A son born in 2018, the year of the dog. And you said you don't know what that means, right?
Nope. I just Googled it.
Well, when it comes to astrology, we are all the zodiac. This is Aries, Taurus, Leo. The zodiac govern the different parts of our bodies. I'm a Scorpio. Scorpio represents the regenerative natures of life, right? And so people connect Scorpios to sexuality, but we're about death and rebirth. So that's what Scorpios are about. So the Chinese zodiac deals with a yearly cycle. So each year, the one that we deal with is a monthly cycle of the zodiacs, right?
Mm.
Well, part of the reason why, see, there's always a connection. Emmett Till was murdered in the year of the goat, 1955. That was the year that my mother was born. And King Tut was discovered in the year of the dog, 1922. And I realized I was Emmett Till in 2018, the year of the dog. So now I'm going to ask you another question. When is your birthday?
May 20th. I'm a Taurus.
All right, so you were born on Toussaint Louverture's birthday. He's a leader of the Haitian Revolution. When is your son's birthday?
I know who that is. January 24th. That's the oldest, and August 24th. Both of them on the 24th.
Wow, interesting. Wow. All right. So tell me what you think about the things I've said so far.
I just feel like I can't get nowhere until I know. I know, like, it shouldn't be fret about, but I'm in a state of fret.
And this is, you mean to know who you were in a previous life, correct?
To know who I was, to know who I'm gonna be. Hell, I hate to say it, to know who I am now in the current. I have no idea. I'm in the midst of, I'm just learning me. I'm 34 years old, and I always thought that I knew myself, and I find out new stuff about me almost every day, and it's like, wow, I didn't even notice that. I had to isolate and get away. I randomly just moved away, and I've been here for a year, and it's the most time I ever spent with myself. And it's like, yeah, I need to know. I have no idea. I don't like to say that.
On page 8 of my book, I believe it's page 8, my book. Let me see. Let me make sure it's page 8. Yes. Page 8 and page 9. Yes. All right. On page 8 and page 9, it starts on page 8, but it goes into page 9. And I talk about how, and I'm not trying to diminish your desire to know. I want to forward by saying that. But I want to tell you that I was not looking for a previous life. Okay, I want you to understand that. I was not looking for a previous life. I was looking for enlightenment. I was trying to raise my consciousness. I was doing things. My first past life came a month after I had fasted for 20 days only drinking water. I was taking an Egyptian yoga course. And after my second day, I fasted for, it was going to be 40 days, but it ended up being 20 days, only drinking water. I didn't have a goal to know who I was. Because life is not about, this is a game, this is a class. You're not supposed to know who you were. Because that life is past. It's gone. You're here now.
The very thing that I will not, I'm not going to say I can't do, but I have not done yet. I have not mastered that.
So I'm not saying that I'm not saying that to say that you need to fast to find a past life, mind you. What I'm trying to say is that, what I'm saying is this, is that the goal should not be to know who you are. The goal should be completing this life for what it is that you came here to complete. Sometimes we don't know what we agreed. See,
that's it. Like, what did I sign up to do here? What, when I got here, obviously I agreed to come here. What did I agree to do? What am I supposed to be doing so I can do it?
all human beings came to Earth to be the butterfly. All of us. That's what life is about. We are here to transform into a spiritual being. The body is a distiller of the soul. We came here to transform into a spiritual being of light. That's what we came here to do. On the course of this journey, as we follow this road, many things will begin to happen. We would begin to have different types of dreams. We would have different types of experiences. We will meet people in divine ways. We will have instantaneous knowing. And the more that we grow, the more that we go, the more walls, the more doors that we will walk through, the more walls will push down, the more that we will awaken. And on this way, you can awaken to the fact that you've been here before. But look at me. I don't remember as of yet. I still do my work because I would love to uncover the memories of ancient Kemet. I don't want the memories of Emmett Till. I don't want to be bogged down with the memories of having that experience. I don't want that. But I know that I was him. I know it. I can prove it in a way that most reincarnation cases are not able to do. Right? But what do I do with that? I understand that I'm here now to share with people who know that they've been here. Many people like yourself know that they've been here, but I need to remind you that it's not about knowing who you were. That's not the goal here. The goal here is to raise oneself up. The caterpillar has to wrap himself up like a mummy, like a pharaoh, right? So
it's a caterpillar in here.
There we go. So, all right, so listen, what is that? That is what we call a coincidence. So let's go to my page of definitions right here. Revelation, the communication of truth like goosebumps. Coincidences. When coincidences bind with synchronicities, the outcomes tend to have the mark of a greater authority, like a pattern that happens for a divine purpose. These coinciding points create a triangle in our lives. We meet different people and have certain experiences that are governed by guardian angels. There's no coincidence that I bring up a butterfly and a caterpillar right now, and right next to you, you have a butterfly in a glass jar. This, nope. You know, what's the video that you saw? I said 1 time is an incident, twice is a coincidence, 3, 4, 5 is a pattern. Can you see the difference? Right?
Yeah.
1 time is an incident, twice is a coincidence, 3, 4, 5 is a pattern. Can you tell the difference? So let me run this home. So it's not about knowing who we were. It's about the road towards enlightenment. It's about this is the work. You said, what am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
That is what you are supposed to be doing. The more that you can begin doing this, the more that the veil will open. Right? Tell me what you think about that.
I needed to hear that because I was about to get so hung up on the whole, knowing who I was, and it's like that can come along the way, and that's beautiful. But it's like you need to do X, Y, A, B, and C, then you'll get to X, Y, and Z.
It's the journey. It is your journey, and then guess what? Here's the thing.
I'm so close, though.
Here's the thing.
I remember when I was so far.
Here's the thing. You might go down this journey, and there might be another gift that opens for you. It may not be knowing that, because ultimately, to be honest, what great deed does that do for me? It's important. My situation is a little different because of the lives that I lived.
Yeah.
But knowing that, like, I was a person named Earl Johnson in the 1800s. That person lived a life with a notable person, but nobody knows that person. That person is lost to history. I probably looked like him. I looked like Emmett. I looked like Tutankhamun. I probably looked the same, right? Had the same astral archetype body, but nobody knows that person from history, from past. See, what's important is the body that we're in right now, and raising our consciousness in this body. And we might be imbued with knowing who we were in another life. That might happen, right? But guess what? Greater things might happen. Greater things than knowing a past life might happen. It's not about that. It is about completing this life and completing it at the highest level of ascension that you can. All right? And we're here to know things, not believe things. And I have I'm in the process of editing. I'm probably going to edit what I'm about to say out of this video, and I'm going to sit here and figure out how I want to present this video as it's still recording right now. One of the reasons why I asked you to do the video was because you're a woman, and when you saw my video, for some reason you were imbued. It made you cry. Right? You had a knowingness, right? That most people. Do you realize how challenging it is for me to tell my story? For the people who don't believe in reincarnation?
I know it.
How long, tell me this, tell me your experience with reincarnation, and tell me the things that make you know that you've been here before. You're 34 now, when did you first think about reincarnation?
Probably like a couple years ago, but I was still on my, I was like really like religious. So I felt guilty about feeling like that. Mind you, I didn't even understand the whole religious aspect of it, but I was so scared too that it was like, you better go ahead and go this way, otherwise you're going to hell. So I was scared. So a lot of changes that I started doing, I needed to change those things, but it was because I was scared. So whatever thought that I did have about it, I pushed it away. And then I came into 33, and when 33 came, it was like different. And that's when I was like, no. No. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to put the book down, but I need to look at it differently. Let me try to look at it, what does they say, esoterically. Let me try to look at it metaphysically. So I'm finding myself trying to read scriptures and then type it into this and have it breaking it down. It's like, damn, you really sitting up here asking the computer to break down the Bible, but it's like, I don't understand it, but I know it needs to be looked at like this. And I don't have nobody to talk to, so I got to use the internet. That's where I'm at now.
So let me break one thing before we close. So I definitely can give you some advice on what the Bible. So when I first left Christianity, I threw the baby out with the bathwater. But the more that I began, I threw it out. But the more that I began to learn, I began to understand that the Bible is a divine book, but it's not what we think it is. I don't think that those people in the Bible ever existed. Like, for instance, David could never build the temple. David was supposed to build a temple, but he never could. Want to know why? Because he was a war. He was into war. But then his son Solomon was about peace. And Solomon was able to build a temple. And what is the temple? What did Jesus say? The kingdom of heaven is within. Jesus said, for what wrong deeds do you stone me? We don't stone you for wrong deeds. We stone you because you say that you are the Son of God. And he says, well, doesn't your scripture say that ye are gods? We are here to become God-like, to raise ourselves up, right? By our actions of the heart, our actions of the thought, our heart, and the actions in our life. In ancient Kemet, it was called Ma'at, right? Truth, justice, balance, harmonious balance, reciprocity. Once we can begin living our life like that, then we begin to take care of this divine vessel, this temple that we live in. Then we can see the magnetism drawn to us, and we can attract to that which we need to attract to. So the Bible definitely is an esoteric book. But most people will not be able to read between the lines, right? They're going to be babies believing that a man put 2 of every animal on a boat for a year with one small hole, woodpeckers and termites and all. Like, I don't know how they were able to survive the farting and the feces and the pee of all these animals for a year with 7 people And one of them
And
was
nothing ain't
600
nothing.
years old. You know?
But
So,
it's like, if you don't believe, then it's that. And it's like, damn. So for so long, it was that. I wish I could, I had a teacher. Well, I call her a teacher. I had went away like a long time ago. I had to do some time a long time ago. And I met this lady, and she was telling me about Mayat and Haru and Tahuti and stuff like that. But I was just a baby. I was only 19. And here I am, 34, and I was never able to find her. And I got to find everybody, all the ladies that I was away with. I got to find them and reconnect, and we chat and yada yada yada. And she told me I would never be able to find her, and I can't find her, and I can't even tell her, like, dang, you was right. I remember what you said. Hey, the internet wasn't going on then. It wasn't no TikTok and Instagram or nothing.
Tell me how you met her. Where'd you meet her at?
I met her in prison.
Wow.
She took me to the library. She used to social me out. That's what they call it. She used to social me out. She used to take me to the library, and I was so young. I was the youngest person there. And everybody used to, why you always hanging with Scott Kelly? That girl's crazy. Stay away from her. And I'm like, I like her. Something about her. And she always took so much time with me. She spent so much time with me. And it was an older lady. Her name was Miss Anua. I didn't know what Anu meant. I didn't know. I was just a baby.
Wow.
She probably transitioned by now because she was an older woman.
Wow.
And I can't find them, and I want to tell them so bad, like, hey, y'all, I made it. But I can't find them.
Listen, so there's been a calling on your life from a long time ago. There's been a calling on your life, my friend. When I was 19 years old, look, I lived a life in ancient Kemet. And I remember when I was a trainer in the gym in my late 20s, there was this one guy named Jerry. He was a diesel guy. And he had this image of a cross-looking thing on his shoulder. I didn't know what it was. It looked like a cross. It was an Ankh. I didn't know what an Ankh was. I just thought it was a weird form of a cross. These things be in your life the whole time. You don't even know what's going on. So I'm happy to meet you. I'm going to have at some point in the beginning of the year, the first quarter, I'm going to start a Sunday class where we do physical fitness, external exercise, and internal exercise, breath work, yoga, and philosophy with things like this. I'd like you to be a part of that.
Yes.
So I'm glad that we connected here.
Yes, me too. It was so nice to meet you. Thank you for taking my message and calling me. Hey,
likewise. I'm going to end this video, though. I'm going to end the video recording of it. By using my book and my experience, I'm here to cement the truth about reincarnation into your left brain so your right brain already knows. I'm here to teach you that by showing you the science of synchronicity and coincidences, by showing you the star codes. Tutanra, the prophecy of reincarnation, star codes of immortality, the hip-hop Bible. Get a copy today.